What's up, everybody? It's your favorite hood healer, it's your favorite hood witch, it's your favorite motivational dominatrix, it's your favorite auntie, captain, goddess, king in the place to be. And I want to welcome you back to my channel. You could be anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, you are somewhere in the world. You're also sharing a couple minutes, a couple moments with me, and I appreciate that. So if you're feeling this, if you're feeling me, if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notifications bell so you can keep up with these here shenanigans. And let me tell you, honey, I got all kinds of shenanigans, from witchcraft to motivation to sexuality to sensuality to all kind of things, food. It's a lot. So you would want to keep up with this. I also go live, I do random postings, and I work out on my community tab. So hit the notifications on so you can get all of that. Now, let's get into it. So it's officially December 20th, Sunday, December 20th. It is the day before the solstice. Actually, we have a couple hours. At this time, it is 4:12, almost 4:20. For my 4:20 family friends out there. It's 4:20, so it's 4:12, excuse me, about to be 4:20. And we only have a couple hours before the solstice begins. And as we know, this is the long night. So happy solstice to you, happy Sunday to you, happy Vlogmas day 20 to you. I hope you're living it up and you're doing good. Also, happy sweet sermon Sunday, baby. So as you know, I've been doing Vlogmas, and on Sundays I just stream for you. I just live stream for you, and that's it. I count that as my video. But I had a word on my heart, and you know, if I have a word on my heart on Sunday, it officially becomes Sweet Sermon Sunday, baby. So we're gonna get into it today. We're gonna get into it. I had some more thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. I had some more thoughts around a subject we covered on another video on this channel, and I want to keep covering it in different angles. But I want to talk to y'all who are on your journey, no matter what spiritual journey you are, no matter if you're Christian, Muslim, if you are Wiccan, pagan, if you are interested in voodoo, Lukeme, Paulo, Santeria, you know, Ifa, whatever you're interested in, wherever you're going. I've got some tips and some tricks and some things that need to be, I think that are important, that need to be considered when choosing a spiritual guru and guide, okay? So this is part 2, basically. Choosing a spiritual guide, choosing a guru, choosing someone to lead you spiritually. Let's go over some tips and tricks and some important things. I guess this would be more like important things to consider or remember. Less like tips and tricks this time, but important things to consider and remember. Quick disclaimer, I don't live alone. My roommate is home. He's living his best life. So any background noises you see, no, it ain't a ghost. It's a living person who's living their best life in our house. All right. Let's get into it. So the first thing I really want to get into is something to consider when choosing a guru, when choosing a priest, when choosing a teacher, is the fact that there are many wonderful people from all faiths, from all spiritual walks of life that are called to lead in their faith. There are beautiful and amazing and wonderful imams. There are people who are called to be deacons, priests, priestesses, high priestesses, Wiccans, you know, Wiccans. But, you know, whatever the leadership position role in the Wiccan faith is, they're called into that. They're called to leadership roles in their pagan faith. They're called to be Iyas. They're called to be Mambos, Hogan. They're called to be leaders in the spiritual space. They're called into that. They're called to be teachers in the spiritual space. They're called to have authority in the spiritual space. And those callings are real. Those callings are genuine. There are people who spend and they dedicate their life to the study of the esoteric. There are people who dedicate their life to the study of the occult. There are people who know so much. They dedicate their life to the connection to spirit. They dedicate their life to the connection to the deities that their ancestors worshipped, okay? There are people who, and they're real, and that is good, and that is amazing, and that's super valid, okay? But to be a good leader, to be a good spiritual guide, to be a good guru, to be a good spiritual teacher, it is not just a solid calling or a solid connection that you're looking for. And it's not just, you know, a lot of knowledge of the esoteric, a lot of knowledge of the spiritual system. It's not just that that's important. It's not just that. Being a good spiritual teacher, being a good spiritual guide, being a good spiritual guru not only requires this connection, not only requires this knowledge, which that stuff is foundational. That's foundational to being a good teacher, a guru, guide, a leader in your spiritual faith, a leader in your religious faith. That part of it is foundational. But that's not the only things that are required when it comes to being a good leader, a good guru, a good guide, okay? To be a good leader, guru, guide, spiritual, to hold spiritual authority and to be effective, it requires good leadership skills, it requires good counseling skills, and it requires good teaching skills. And those are three things that need to be developed. Can you be born with those three things in their rawest form? Yes, you can. You can absolutely be born with good leadership skills. You can absolutely be born with natural teaching skills. You can absolutely be born with natural counseling skills, but those things also need to be developed. They're beautiful in their rawest form, but they're also dangerous in their rawest form. They need to be developed. They need to be polished. And these are things that not all teachers, gurus, guides spend their time on or are concerned about, okay? There are going to be people who have a wealth of knowledge, but they're horrible teachers. There are going to be people who have a wealth of knowledge, they're really good at teaching, but they give the worst advice. They are not good at counseling. There are going to be people who are really good at counseling, at teaching, but they suck at leadership, okay? There are people who spend all their time cultivating their, you know, space with the divine, cultivating their space with their spiritual team, that they don't cultivate the human qualities that will enhance their natural, spiritual, mystical leadership abilities, okay? And this is something to be considered. This is something to be considered. As someone who is looking for a spiritual guru and guide, you've got to know a little bit about not only what leadership style do you like, you need to understand how you like to learn, and you need to understand how you like to be counseled, okay? Now, gurus, guides, teachers spend a lot of time and a lot of money on their craft, their religion, their faith, studying to grasp more knowledge, to receive the downloads that the ancestors, the spirit guides are telling them. They do that. So we do that. I'm one of those people. But there are times when there are some of us who that's all we do. We don't spend time on learning the leadership. We don't spend time on developing the counseling. We don't spend time on developing the teaching, okay? And this could make you help to make you an ineffective leader. This could help to make you an ineffective counselor, an ineffective guru, an ineffective guide. And there's a lot of people out there who are not good at these things, but that doesn't diminish the fact that they are anointed. They are anointed by God. They are anointed by the Creator. They are anointed in their spiritual system. They got the magic touch. It doesn't diminish the fact that they are called into this because they've got it. They got it. They are the one. They are Neo in this bitch, okay? But these three things often get in the way of expanding houses. This often gets in the way of expanding congregations. This often gets in the way of deeper work when those three qualities are not developed. So as you are looking for a spiritual teacher, guru, and guide, just keep these things in mind. And also, if you have a falling out, or if you find that you are distanced from, or you start working with a guru or a guide or a teacher and it doesn't work out well, again, remember that this doesn't take away, just because they might not be good at teaching, they might not be good at leading, they might not be good at counseling, doesn't discount that they are magic, doesn't discount that they do what they need to do in regards to spirit, okay? This is just something to keep in mind. Oftentimes we find ourselves leaving a congregation, an ile, a soya set, because of these reasons. Not because the person isn't blessed, not because they don't have power, not because they're not highly favored, but because that human aspect of them, when it comes to teaching, counseling, leadership, those things, those qualities were not developed as strongly and as deeply as they need to be. Another thing you want to keep in mind, or you want to look at and you want to observe and take inventory of when choosing a spiritual guide, guru, or teacher is, do they treat themselves with humanity? What do I mean by that? Do they treat themselves with humanity? Do they freely acknowledge their shadow and their light? Do they present themselves as if they were omnipotent, as if they were infallible, as if they never do anything wrong, as if they never mess up, as if they have no shadow side? Do they present as if they are all-knowing, all-seeing, and they are above everything? They're above all of the bullshit. They never do any bullshit. Do they present as if they've never gone through any trials, or the trials that they've gone through, I'm done with that. I am victor over everything. I am victorious over every demon, over every fear. If they present like that, that's not good, okay? You want to get yourself with a guru, guide, or a teacher who respects and honors their full humanity, including the good, the bad, and the ugly. When you do this, you will more than likely be respected and uplifted and honored in your own humanity. And they are more likely to show you compassion and grace when you mess up, because you're gonna mess up. Do not beware of those gurus, guides, and teachers that are holier than thou. Beware of those guru guides and teachers that don't act like they shit don't stink. Beware of those guru guides, those teachers, those priestesses, those mambos, those hogan, those iyas, I almost said dictators. Some of them act like that. Those deacons, those priests, those preachers that act like they've never done wrong or they're not currently doing wrong. Let me tell you something. Everybody is shadow and light. And although your priests and your priestesses, we are held to a higher standard, and we oftentimes get punished faster and quicker than the regular folks do because of the deities that we're working for and working up under and working with. It doesn't mean that we are exempt from our humanity, okay? You want to have a teacher who can show grace to you, because your teacher too is going to make mistakes. They're human. I want you to remember to treat your gurus, guides, teachers, priests, priestesses with humanity. Respect the hell out of us. Again, we invest a lot of time. I spend more time reading spiritual things. I spend more time doing ritual than the average person. I spend a lot of money on these items. I spend a lot of money on my spiritual advancement. I spend a lot of money on the spiritual advancement of other people. Respect. 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 Don't disrespect, okay? Respect your priestesses. Respect what we do. There is a calling on my life. There is lots of things that I have sacrificed and given up so that I can be there for my people at the best of my ability. Respect us. Respect your shaman. Respect all that has come into that. But please know that we occupy the space of greatness, and we can be godlike, and we can be under God, and that is a true thing. If you've ever seen a true priestess work, if you've ever seen a true warlock or witch work, baby, power. Power, power. I've seen some phenomenal supernatural shit with some really skilled practitioners, and they were the whole entire truth. Let me tell you. Respect. Outside of those spaces, we a whole human being. We a whole human being. We are righteous. We are wretched. We got shadow shit. We got light shit. We got all kinds of things about us, okay? So don't go into your guru guide thinking that they are perfect. Don't go into this thinking that, oh my God, they never make no mistakes. Sometimes we're going to make some very serious mistakes. Sometimes we're going to make some very head-on mistakes. Sometimes we're going to do that stuff on purpose. Not all the time, but sometimes we're going to be having a bad day and do some bad things on purpose. And sometimes we're going to do it on accident. Most of the times we're doing it by accident. Most of the times we're just being human, okay? And so you need to be able to show grace, and you need to be able to make sure that your guru and guide is showing grace to you and to themselves, and they're more than likely to show grace to you. The other benefit of holding space for your guru and guide's humanity is the fact that mental illness is real. Let me speak to you about the fact that the wound of colonialism is rancid and deep and putrid, and not putrid, but is it putrid? Putrid. It is a festering wound that is pussing and pulsating and breaking, okay? And we all have a piece of this wound. Everybody, white people, black people, all indigenous people. Black people are indigenous, so I want to remind you. Black indigenous people, other indigenous people, Native American folks, brown people, everybody carries a wounding when it comes to colonialism, okay? And so this affects everyone, including your gurus, guides, and teachers. The effects of colonialism are devastating, and they're hundreds of years deep. So it doesn't matter if your guru is 60 years deep in the game, 10 years deep in the game, 30 years deep in the game, they're still affected by colonialism. And at some point in the game, they're gonna bring their colonizer to the table, all right? We must show grace and have grace for each other. You want to make sure you have a guru or a guide who can acknowledge that within themselves. And when the colonizer shows up within them and they make decisions or they do things out of that energy, They need to be able to correct it. They need to be able to acknowledge it. They need to be able to dissect it. They need to be able to apologize to the people that they affected, and they need to be able to make amends, okay? They need to be able to make amends, all right? Your gurus and guides are also human, so some of them are dealing with mental health issues, from schizophrenia to bipolar to depression. You would be surprised how many of your practitioners are human and are dealing with these things. Does that take away from their power? No. Does that take away from how magic they are? No. Does that take away from the calling on their heart, on their souls, on their life? No, it doesn't. But does it mean that sometimes mental health issues can get in the way? Yeah. Does it mean that sometimes maybe your person's depression, maybe your guru's anxiety gets in the way? Yes, okay. Again, if you have a guru or guide who is treating themselves with humanity, they will acknowledge that, and they are also going to be doing the things that they need to be doing to take care of that. They're not just going to let that be rampant so that it damages their people. They're going to be seeking their counseling, doing their herbs, taking their meds, you know, going to their therapist, doing what they need to do, doing what their deities and their doctors and, you know, what spirit has told them to do in order to manage that, okay? So really making sure that when you are seeking out spiritual counsels, you seek out people who hold space for their humanity. These are things that you're going to get when you really get to know your guide. You're going to get to know them. You're going to observe them. Spend some time seeing how they work and how they move on social media, if they're on social media. Spend some time taking, if they offer classes, take a few classes from them first before you engage in any initiatory practices, or like sign up to be a part of their temple or their congregation. Talk to former members of their house. And again, sometimes people will leave because I didn't vibe with you and I didn't vibe with you. Not because everybody's not gonna vibe with you, but it is important to talk to former members just to see if they were able to leave well, if they left under abusive or terrorizing energy, or if there was really notable things. But if somebody was like, hey, they're a good teacher, I learned what I needed to know, and that's it, okay? Talk to members that are there now and just get the energy. Ask things about their teaching style, their disciplining style, their you know, counseling style, their leadership style. Ask those questions, okay? And the last thing I think I want to cover and talk about is the fact that not all teachers are going to be with you forever. Sometimes you're going to have a teacher that's with you forever. Sometimes you're gonna have gurus, guides, folks that are just there to guide you for the rest of your life. Sometimes you're gonna have people who are there for a season, who are there to get you to one place, and then someone else is gonna get you somewhere else. When I initiated into Ifa back in the day, I remember I am a child of Oshun and Obatala under that faith, under my old house. And, well, I'm not under my old house, that's who a child I am, but Oya and Elegua is who brought me into that. And so they brought me into, those two Orisha brought me into Ifa. And I was convinced I was one of theirs or both of theirs, and I wasn't. However, those two needed to bring me in. And then when I became initiated, I found out that whose child I was, and I was handed over to my new spiritual parents, which were Oshun and Obatala. So I say this to say it works like that in the spirit realm, and it also works like that in the earthly realm. Sometimes you need a teacher to break you open. Sometimes your formal teacher, your big teacher cannot, they're here for a certain thing, and they need someone else to start it. They need someone else to break it open. They need someone else to go over the first half of the lessons, okay? There are times when you get to a teacher, you learn what you need to learn, and you've learned all you need to learn, and you've gone as far as you can go with them, and that's it. Does it mean that that relationship is not successful? No. Does it mean that that relationship isn't worthy or valid? No. It just means that you're done. That's it. So also don't be afraid to, when spirit tells you you're done on your journey with this teacher, you're done. Sometimes your teacher, your guru, your guide, someone is supposed to just give you a certain lesson. They give you a certain blessing. They give you a certain thing to learn, and then you are tasked with going about your business and handling it. And finding your other teachers, okay? And also realize too that you're gonna have more than one teacher. You're gonna have more than one teacher. You're gonna have more than one teacher, and that's fine, all right? And that's fine, and that's fine. So these conversations, I want to acknowledge that these things that I'm talking about are in regards to formal teachers, gurus, and guides. You have a plethora. Do not think, if you don't have a formal teacher, guru, guide, I don't want you out here thinking you don't have nothing. Teachers and guides are everywhere. The earth is your teacher. Your ancestors are your teacher. Children in your life are teachers. Your animal brethren and sistren are your teachers. The insects are your teachers. Earth, air, fire, water, spirit are your teachers. Your inner guide is your teacher. Your elders, your grandmother, your grandmother, your fathers, your great-grandparents, those are your teachers. Your aunties, your uncles, your play cousins, those are your teachers. Your peers are your teachers. Okay, you are not without teachers. And this can apply to them as well, but this is also, when I talk about this, I'm targeting and talking specifically around those former teachers that you choose to bring in your life to help guide you. Okay, so this was today's Sunday sermon. I hope you enjoyed it. Really, just treat your gurus and guides with humanity and expect to be treated with humanity by them. They are not superstars. They are not, although a lot of us are charismatic, although a lot of us do other things that lend to this. I'm an artist. I'm a performer. I'm an MC. I'm a rapper. A lot of y'all didn't know that. I'm a poet. I do burlesque. So entertaining folks, it is easy. And like the thing that goes on. And I'm also good at that stuff too. So I understand that charisma is a thing. And that, I'm not even gonna lie, like all of my teachers have been charismatic in some way, shape, or form. So I'm not gonna lie, we are attracted to that. But don't let that be the thing that sells you down the river, okay? Let that attract you to your people, along with spirit, along with, you know, let those natural things that attract you to your teachers attract you, but don't just take what you see and what you feel on face, you know, value. Like, do some research in yourself and, you know, within them. All right, so I hope this has been beneficial for you. This was my word of the day on Sunday. You know, part 2, we're going to revisit this from several different angles. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to help you out. Before all you baby witches, I want you just to be aware and be prepared, and also know that we all need gurus, guides. We all do. We all do. Everybody needs a teacher. Everybody needs a mentor. We come from village mentality, okay? We come from indigenous, our history and herstory as indigenous people is village, okay? It is small community. And in small community, we were all linked. We were linked by blood. We were linked by knowledge. We were linked by mentorship, eldership. We were linked by all these things. We always need guidance. You always need to be told what to do. As grown as you are, there's another level of grownness to get. There's another level to always get to, and you haven't been to that level yet. And so you're gonna need guidance when you get to that level. All of us need help. All of us need guidance. So these are just some tips and tricks to help us to find better teachers. And not only is this for you, but this is definitely for me too. This is a reminder when if I slip and fall, this is a reminder for me as well. So thank you for your support. Once again, if you're feeling this, if you're feeling me, if you like what I'm doing, if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe bell. Make sure you hit that notifications bell as well, okay? Share this with whoever you need to. And just in case no one has told you today, you are amazing and so very important. Thank you for surviving everything you have survived. Happy Vlogmas to you. Happy Sunday, December 20th to you. I live streamed the Sunday reading, so that should be posted at some point soon. YouTube does what it wants. So you got that video coming today. You also have this. I doubled it up on Vlogmas today. Yay, you got a double upload. Look at you. Look at me. I'm super proud of myself. We've officially got 5 more days left because Vlogmas is from the 1st to the 25th. So I'm gonna have fun with these 5 days, and then I will update you about January's posting schedule, because we definitely ain't posting every day in January, but we posting pretty regularly. I'll update you about that at the end of December. So you have yourself a good day. You have yourself a merry little solstice. May your magic fly. I love you. Thanks for your support.